Welcome to our channel. Why the US debt cannot be paid. Today, we're going to talk about the United States national debt and why, despite all efforts, it seems almost impossible ever fully to pay it off. US national debt currently stands at over $33 trillion, a number so large it's hard even to grasp. But let's break it down and talk about 3 key reasons why this debt cannot realistically be paid back in full. Point 1. Interest payments are unmanageable. The sheer scale of interest payments on the debt makes it nearly impossible to make meaningful progress on paying down the principal. Just like with personal loans or credit cards, the more debt you have, the more interest you accumulate. Right now, the US spends hundreds of billions of dollars annually just paying interest on its debt. In 2023 alone, the interest payments exceeded $500 billion. That's money that could have been used for infrastructure, healthcare, or education, but instead, it's just going towards servicing the debt. What makes this worse is that interest rates are rising. With higher rates, the cost of borrowing increases, which means the government will need to spend even more money just to keep up with the debt, leaving little room actually to reduce it. Point 2. Reliance on borrowing for government spending. The second reason is that the US economy is dependent on borrowing to function. Over the years, government spending has consistently outpaced revenue. Programs like Social Security, Medicare, and defense spending are all crucial but expensive. Instead of raising taxes significantly or cutting these programs, the government has chosen to borrow more to fund its operations. For example, during times of crisis like the 2008 financial crash and the COVID-19 pandemic, the US government borrows heavily to stimulate the economy. While necessary to keep the economy afloat, this leads to an even greater debt burden. Unfortunately, the government has no viable plan for eliminating this reliance on borrowing, which means the debt will keep growing. Point 3. Political deadlock prevents effective solutions. Finally, political gridlock makes it almost impossible to implement long-term solutions to reduce the debt. Every time there's talk of reducing the deficit, there's a fierce debate between those who want to cut spending and those who want to raise taxes. Neither side is willing to make significant compromises. Let's take an example from 2011 during the debt ceiling crisis. The government nearly defaulted on its obligations because Congress couldn't agree on whether to cut spending or increase taxes. This happens time and time again. Without bipartisan cooperation, any serious effort to reduce the debt is hampered. And as the debt grows, so does the challenge of finding a way to reduce it without hurting the economy. So, in summary, the US national debt cannot be fully repaid because 1. Interest payments alone consume a huge part of the budget. 2. The government is reliant on borrowing to cover essential spending. And 3. Political deadlock prevents meaningful action. Instead of focusing on paying it all off, many economists believe the focus should be on managing the debt, keeping it sustainable, and ensuring it doesn't spiral completely out of control. As daunting as the debt is, it's important to understand the structural and political reasons behind it, so we can move forward with realistic solutions. Thank you for watching. If you find this video insightful, please consider supporting us.